guys, it's Trish. Today we're going to be making a couple pair of really fun earrings. We've got these cute little fancy trees from Dress It Up Buttons. And we're going to be using It's Cold Outside from Dress It Up Buttons, as well as Strawberry Rhubarb Mix from Jesse James Beads. You're going to need some wires, some jump rings, some ear wires. So let's get started, guys. Okay, so our first step is going to be preparing our buttons by attaching the jump rings so we can use them in our earrings. So I've just pulled out some jump rings here. I got an oval one out, and unfortunately it is silver, but it's just going to have to work because the shape of the tree really does better with an oval if you attach it here on the back, because it's too tiny to attach here. So if we glue it here, we're still going to have space up above there that we can put our wire through. So it's just, I'm using a 6000 here. I usually just take a dab and put it on, and then I'm just going to simply put that jump ring on, and you're going to have to hold it for a minute or two to kind of get it to stay there, because you don't want it to droop down. If it droops down, then it's not going to stick well on the back for you. And once you hold it there just for a second, I'm going to go in and put a little bit more over top of it. Okay. This one's tricky because of the shape of it. Then I'm just going to take my wire and make sure I have that in the position that I want, and just hold it on there for just a minute or two. So while our tree cures, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with the little cup and the snowflakes. I'm going to use a smaller, this is about an 8mm jump ring, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, except for on the cup, I'm going to put 2 jump rings, one on the top and one on the bottom, because I want to be able to use it as a link in between my beads. Okay, so put one on the top, one on the bottom of your cup. Now keep in mind too, guys, you want to make sure that you let this cure at least for a few hours before you put it into something. And on this one, we're just going to put one. We're just going to put one jump ring because this is going to be our charm on the bottom. You can also cut the shanks off on these to give yourself a little bit more room if you would like. It does make it a little simpler, but same thing. I'm just gluing a loop onto it, and then we're going to let these dry, and I'll be right back. Okay, now that our buttons have the attachments on them, I'm going to open up my beautiful Strawberry Rhubarb mix here and just pour that out so I can see what I have to work with. I like to be able to see what I have. There's a clasp in there, which is super cool. If you want to do another project, you could certainly use the clasps. Okay, so I'm just kind of pulling those out, and then I'm going to start with my trees here. So I'm going to push our little cups and snowflakes out of the way. And the trees are going to be on the bottom. So we're going to start with a piece of 20 gauge German wire here, but you can use whatever wire you have on hand. And I'm just going to cut a piece, probably about 6 or 8 inches. Okay, and I always cut more than I need, but I'd rather have more than I need than not enough. So I can see here on this end I have a little bit of a kink in my wire, so I'm just going to take my wire straighteners and just straighten that out. Okay, so to make sure you're careful though with your wire straighteners, because the more you do it, the more work hardened your wire becomes. So I'm just going to straighten that out, and on the end I'm going to take my round nose pliers, and I'm just going to make a loop, because this is the loop that's going to attach us to our trees. And I'm just grabbing that very end and just rolling that back, just like so. And then I'm just going to stick my pliers in, so I have one of the tines inside and one outside, and I'm just going to pop that back so it looks like a little lollipop. So now I know I have my connection to my tree. So now I can start beading. We can put our trees on when we're done putting the beads on. So now I can start choosing. I know these are pretty long, so I'm probably not going to make too long of a beaded part on it, but I at least wanted to give it a little bit of a pop. So I'm just going to look through our mix here. And I think I'm going to pick some of the smaller beads. I like those bicones, but let's see. I'm just going to take one of these really pretty red beads and put that on the bottom. And I'm doing silver here, so I'm kind of, you can mix and match your metal tones for sure, guys. Does make for a pretty piece. And I'm just going to take this cap and just put it on there. So it's like a spacer bead. There's also little daisy spacers in here. Now, I have used through a lot of this mix, so I don't want you to think this is all that comes in it, but I have definitely used a lot. And these mixes go very, very far because there's so much in them. So I'm just putting on another bead, and I think we're just going to keep it at that for the top of the Christmas tree, because like I said, it's a little bit of a large piece to begin with. Okay, so I'm going to take my tweezer pliers here, and I'm just going to go maybe a couple millimeters above the last bead, and I'm just going to take it and bend it into a 90-degree angle. We're going to one in horizontal. Then I'm going to cut the end. We're just going to make a simple loop. Oops, got my tool here. And I'm just going to cut the end of the wire off with about 1/4 of an inch there. And then we're going to bring in our round nose again and just roll that loop back, just like so. Okay. So we have a loop at the top as well. There you go. So I'm just going to attach, simple as this, just attach your Christmas trees in your loop and hook it in through the jump ring that you put onto your piece and close it. And you have your beaded part above then. So all we want to do at that point is make sure our loops are positioned the way we need them. And make sure that this loop is closed, just like so. And then go ahead and apply an ear wire, attach an ear wire, I guess. So I just have this simple ear wire. Now these are just super simple projects, quick and easy, make great gifts. Okay. And there is our Christmas tree earrings. Really cute. Really, really cute. Okay, so let's move on to our little cup and snowflakes. The first thing I'm going to do is attach an ear wire to the top of my cup, because I know that's going to be the top of my project. So I'm just going to attach that. And that one is ready to roll. So now what I'm going to do, I have this idea to put the snowflake at the bottom dangling, and we're going to put a beaded piece into the middle. So I'm just going to take a piece of gold wire, 20 gauge German style, and I'm going to straighten that out with my fingers, kind of warm it up a little bit. And I'm going to roll loop on the end, because I wanted that loop to be there so I can attach my snowflake to it. Just like so. Okay. We rolled our loop. Now we're just going to kick it back with our pliers just to make sure that it's centered. And there you go. Just like a little lollipop. This end of this wire is bent a little bit. So I'm just going to cut that. And now we can open this up and attach our snowflake. Okay. You see where I'm going with that? So now that that is attached, we can start putting our beads onto the wire then. So you can just decide what you want to use. I'm going to use these teardrop beads, I think. And these are going to be long again, so you don't probably, if you don't like really long earrings, you kind of want to be conservative on the amount of beads that you put on it. And I'm just going to lay things down and see, do I like it just with that? Do I want something else on it? So I know, let's see what else we have left here. I wonder if one of these would look pretty on top of that, the bead cap, the bead ends. Oh yeah, that looks really cute. Really cute. So I think we'll put one more tiny bead on top. Let's put one of these cute rondelles. And I think that's plenty for our earring. I think they are absolutely adorable. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go a few millimeters above our last bead. We're going to bend it to make a 90-degree angle so it's horizontal. We're going to cut about 1/4 of an inch. Cut that off. And then we're going to add take our round nose pliers, and we're going to make a loop on the end, making a simple loop. And now I want to see if everything the loops are in the direction that I need them to be. So what I need is I need both of them to be sideways because I'm going to link into that loop. So I'll just take my pliers in here, and I can see this one's already sideways here. So I'm just going to twist my loops so they're both running the same direction, okay? Just so everything lines up really good. So now that we have everything facing the same direction, let's turn our beads the way we want them. It's like so, okay? Now we just have to attach it to our little cup. But that is our little coffee cup earring. Isn't that adorable? Just love it. So here are our finished earrings that we created today. Very easy, very simple, but make a big impact and super cute. These would make great gifts for someone. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.